dance with me, hang out at the party.
I saw the picture. Okay, the first question is, how did you guys decide the name would be Operation Brainstorm?
Okay, we wanna approach this in two different ways. We'll tell our story and then we'll tell a little how we reached that point. So we got it from our guy. His name's Nate Pfeiffer. He's a part of Mr. Tape in the group, and he sent out Brainstorm one day and we tried to get it. It was taken, so we just added an operation to it and it came nice together like a little sandwich. It was funny during the actual brainstorming process. We started listing them out, and Kian actually has a list of a couple of them, and we should actually dive into them and see which ones are not.
We'll do guess which one's Phil made. Con carne, we have Ferda, we have Slime Cowboy, Slime Dungeon, Slime Jet, Sausage Box, Meat Box, Meaty Box, Lunch Meat. Basically anything that has to do with like stew or like slime or something, just grimy.
I like meat.
Our runner-up was...
I think it was Meat Brigade.
That was not... Meat Brigade was actually top 5 and I was pretty bummed about that.
Meat Brigade, Astropunk.
Astropunk is the one I liked.
Cosmic
Blondie.
Cosmic Blondie.
That was a sweet one.
Then Brainstorm. That's how we came up with it, and now we've got it, we're locked and loaded, and we're growing it from there.
Question 2. For those who don't know, what is Operation Brainstorm? What I like about Operation Brainstorm is it's way easier to describe than Bad Soup.
Okay, Operation Brainstorm. So we started it actually probably starts a while ago, like the seeds run deep. Probably started like 4 years ago. I moved to Provo and I started throwing just parties, house parties all around the scene. And my favorite music at the time was house music, and I'd throw it and I'd go to these like parties and I'd put on the aux, I'd put on house music, and it would change from T-Pain over to like Duke Dumont. And everyone would say, Phil, what the hell is this? Every single time. And I'm like, all right, I guess house is not accepted in this community. So it just took a lot, so many times of me playing this music for people just to like eventually get integrated. Because once someone hears a song and they hear the lyrics, they can actually dance to it. People wanted to come together, share good music, and create a channel for artists to be able to push their music in an environment that doesn't really welcome that. So it provides a channel for artists to get their content out there and actually say, I'm an artist, take me seriously, versus just a house party down the street where, who knows, Joe is just hopping on the decks, but he hasn't produced an actual song. So it's collaborating talent and credibility with a really good experience, and that's what we're here for, is to bring people together, create a culture, create an environment, and also, add camaraderie and something special to this town that it doesn't have. It doesn't have a nightlife. When you look around, all the events, they aren't exactly what you would find in a city, in an urban setting. So we're trying to bring the urban setting here and just promote, happiness through house music.
All right, the next question is, what inspired you to get into house music? I feel like you kind of touched on that. For me personally, this goes back to the first day I met Phil, my freshman year of college. I threw a New Year's party and Phil was literally the first person there, and I was just like, I have no idea.
Kian!
And he literally goes up, he's like, you must be Kian. So I was like talking to him a little bit, and we were talking about like a mutual interest in like DJing and just like house music. But anyways, yeah, so Phil and I got talking, and then I was like, hey, bring down the speakers and you can throw like any party you want with them. And then I went to one and they were playing house music, and I was like, this is so sick. And everyone was like, this is so lame.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's just getting into that. It was just like, he and I were just like loving it.
We're playing like Disclosure, going so hard, and everyone else is like, yo, put on like Young Thug. And I was like, okay. Wait, what about you guys? Let's get everyone on it.
Mine was, last year we went to Coachella, and like, we listened to so many artists that I would have never listened to without like Keen and Phil. And I was just like, wait, this is actually really sick.
Well, the thing that helped, we took the school bus down to Coachella, so we had a 10-hour road trip. So we just put house music on straight down his throat for 10 hours.
Yeah.
So I think that's how you have to baptize people into it, or else they're not going to get it.
By force.
So my musical progression's interesting. I started with like old school Tupac, Biggie back in high school, and then kind of moved into indie like Phoenix and stuff like that. And then eventually, right when I got to college, back from my little 2-year trip, I got straight into house music. I heard T, Totally Enormous Extinct Dinosaurs, and that was my first exposure to house music. Then just got super into it. Duke Dumont, old school Calvin Harris, his first albums, and then kind of just grew from there. And now it's all tech house, big room, French house. Yeah, I would say I'm pretty integrated and involved. That's why we did it.
Yeah, I'd say for me, it's definitely Kian, because he, when I was in high school my senior year, for summer, me and my buddies drove up to Utah to like have a little snowboard trip, do whatever. And we met up with Kian, and he had this giant van this kid always has like these massive cars. Whenever I've been with him, it's like bus,
to
massive
compensate.
truck, big van.
Yeah, he's
so he had the
compensating.
big van. He like drove us around and he was just bumping house music the whole time, and I just fell in love with it.
Yo, Sully, what you got?
Yeah. I actually hate house music a lot, but now I'm starting to get used to it. Yeah.
Get used to it.
Different breed.
What has been the most shocking thing to happen at an Operation Brainstorm?
Oh,
What was the question?
it was
Yeah,
for
couple
sure the
good
last one,
What?
right? The choking out.
we talked about not talking about that.
The other two.
Yeah, okay, we're not gonna talk about it because our friend got choked out by a security guard.
Security.
Okay, the
guards
most
and stuff.
shocking thing to happen at a Brainstorm.
Shocking wise, well, I guess there's three. You tell that one, I'll tell one, you tell the other one. For me, the most shocking was at our last one. We had a DJ playing, and all of a sudden he put on Bohemian Rhapsody, and it's like in the middle of the mix, and it comes on, and I kind of turn around after drinking a sip of water. I turn around and I hear, "Is this the real life?" And I look into the crowd, and I just see Gavin Murray just starting to ascend into heaven. He's like, someone's lifting him up, both his feet, just, "Is this the real life?" And it was like, dude, literally, like lightning just hit the tip of my forearm. But it was crazy. It was so crazy. It just hit my forearm. Just, but dude, it wasn't necessarily shocking. Actually, it could be shocking because it did shock me.
Like the re-
Oh, Cascade came.
Well,
Yeah, but that was chill. But
just like-
what's the next story?
That's not-
So what can we look forward to from Brainstorm?
Okay, will you tell us about Operation 5?
Well, yeah, I
Yeah, who's
guess.
playing?
Treasure Fingers. I don't know. Well, who else?
Bro, you're on the team. You should know this.
Okay, Operation 5 is at the Valor. It's on University. It's the same place we had our last show. Opening for us is Josh Collins. He's a BYU kiddo.
Yeah, he's from San Diego. We always try to source the first opener of every single act to be around from the area so we can promote the culture around here because it's hard to get your music out. Then we have Grenstu who's flying in from San Francisco. We're really excited to have him. He's been doing great with Psycho Disco, and we'll have a lot of good music for everyone to hear here. And then we have Treasure Fingers, who is from Atlanta, Georgia. So we're honestly pretty stoked to have them both coming in and adding to what we've already created, and it'll just keep us growing and growing and growing. And I guess that's the future. It's just as we keep progressing, we'll get more and more artists and bring more of a creative culture to this town and a nightlife of some sorts, and that's kind of our vision.
It's Monday, February 24th, 9 p.m.
Operation 5, Psycho Disco,
5.
Brainstorm collab.
And he rips.
Does anyone know how to take stitches out?
Yeah, I can take stitches out.
Really?
Oh, sick.
I could.
Friday, 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 you should come Friday, Friday,
But I'll tell you something I just thought of. It's Get Wet and Get Silly. Yeah. It's from my friend Jay Blades. He just says that because when you go in, who cares? Check your ego at the door, get wet, get silly, have a good time to house music. Don't think about what other people are thinking.